China is leading the way in numerous technologies, from high-speed rail to drone deliveries. But the biggest innovation of all, mobile payments.
We consider ourselves as a really cashless society.
Whilst the rest of us were busy fumbling around with clunky card machines or fistfuls of bills, in just a few years, China jumped from cash to QR codes.
Oh, I think it's time for another drink. Oh, so now it's open. Right, so I'm gonna get a pack of sweat.
In this video, we are going to try to figure out why China's digital payments infrastructure is so far ahead and how on earth the rest of the world can catch up.
When we arrived in China in 2017, we had never used mobile payments before. They weren't that popular in the UK, but they were super common here in China. Restaurants, supermarkets, and even street food vendors were using a laminated QR code to take payments.
It was simultaneously so advanced, yet also kind of simple. Why hadn't the rest of the world adopted this clever payment system?
In China, you always have a 5G signal, and even a small village, you will have a very good signal.
We'll get to that, but first, we want to demonstrate what the rest of the world is missing out on. And to do that, we're going to visit one of our favorite cities in China.
Ooh, I wonder where that is then.
Well, that's a surprise, but I will give you a clue. It's one of China's most advanced cities, and it's tech capital.
Okay, I think I might know where we're going, but I am wondering, how are we going to get there?
So let's have a look. Well, you can get trains and flights, but I've looked on the map and it's not that far away, so I think the best way is to get a taxi. Okay, ready to go? Besides using a mobile payment app for ordering a ride, there are so many other uses for it. You can top up your phone, you can pay your electricity bill, you can order food delivery, you can get cinema tickets.
But as you guys know, we're all about real-life experiences on this channel. And so,
the best place to talk about mobile payments in China is, of course, a mall.
And in case you haven't guessed it yet, we are in Shenzhen. Let's get our shop on.
So I need to get a few gifts for my friends' children, so I think this is where I'm gonna try and spend a little bit of money.
Honestly, don't ask.
And for me, maybe I'll just get myself a little cheeky drone. We are in the home of drones after all.
Yep, more on that later.
It's here.
Quick gift for the kiddos, then something for me.
Paying for analog items with digital payments. Whoa, I've never seen this before. It's a 24-hour vending machine that sells electronics. So just in case you lose your watch or your earbuds, you can come here and get a new pair any time of the day.
Wei. Why my dollar?
How cool is that? Whoa, looks like a little camcorder. Smile. This is your screen, and then if you want a big screen, you just have it massive like that. And then it folds up. For somebody who goes traveling a lot, i.e. us, that would be like the perfect bit of tech. Big screen, there we go. Look at that. Oh, there you are. That's sick. I don't think my mobile payment can afford that though. I think it's a bit out of my budget. I'm hungry. I think we should get some food because it's lunchtime. I can use the translation. Oh, so you can get it spicy or you can get it with sesame paste. So you're gonna go to my money, it gives you a little code and then you pay.
Oh, look how happy she is.
That's really good. Well, I'm gonna get some boburji. Uma.
So, I think you get the idea. Mobile payment super apps in China are life. In fact, they're pretty much the first app I advise first-timers to download when they come to China.
I think most people, when they come to China, they're actually a little bit scared. Like, oh my gosh, I can't use cash. What am I gonna do?
Just keep your eyes peeled for QR codes and you will never go short of nourishment.
Oh, I think it's time for another drink. I feel like we need to keep being hydrated today in Shenzhen because it is so hot. Oh, so now it's open and then you get to then you pick what you want and then it should automatically come out.
C'est bon, c'est bon.
There we go. Shut the door. Yes! Deduction receipt, $9.50. There you go.
Yeah, we've had friends come across to China and all we've had to do is get them to download 1 or 2 of the so-called super apps.
Link their card.
And then they're up and running.
You can even use the same app to pay for your public transport. You just scan the QR code and it comes out your balance.
But I bet you're wondering, why is China so far ahead in the mobile payments game? And what can the rest of the world do to catch up? Well, luckily for me, a lovely chap called Clinton agreed to meet me for a coffee to tell me more.
So I'm in charge of the digital finance solution overseas. So I help different banks to design different kind of banking solution with Huawei.
Clinton said that if we wanted to truly know the present, we needed to understand the past.
You know, in 1990s, at that time, every farmer, whenever they get a salary, they get income, they will take this cash and go to the branch far away. From going to the branch, wait for the long queue, and go to the ATM. It usually takes one whole day.
But then in the mid-2000s, everything changed.
China has declared the information industry its new lifeblood, with predictions of 20% yearly growth for the next decade.
E-commerce platform is become popular. They need to find way to do payment.
Alipay was founded in 2004, providing a payment platform for online transactions.
But this is just the beginning of the story.
By 2013, smartphones were commonplace and most of the country had a 4G connection. WeChat Pay entered the market and mobile payments really began to take off.
So this is very disruptive for traditional bank. They don't have a consideration that e-commerce platform will come in or payment from mobile platform is coming. So they are not yet ready.
So how did they respond? Well, they built their own super apps, of course, and they changed their in-branch experience.
Customer service officers will not lead you to the tellers. They will lead you to your mobile phone. They will teach you how to use your bank's mobile phone to do business instead of lead you to wait in long queue.
But there was a problem.
They have many legacy infrastructure in a bank. So they need to update their infrastructure to become more agile.
Whilst fintech companies use cloud-based infrastructure to deal with a large volume of small transactions, traditional banks are more used to handling much bigger but more infrequent transactions.
They are not that designed for this high-frequency transaction. For one bank, you have to build many, or we call multi-data centers. Huawei provides our on-premise cloud architectures that can provide this transactional capability.
Can you imagine in the UK, right? I just don't think we will ever be able to adopt mobile payments in this way unless we really sort out our mobile infrastructure. You remember last year we were in Yorkshire, a rural county. It's pretty near to some major cities, but we didn't have any phone signal.
No, my mum was really worried about me and I had to ring her from a payphone. That's so 2000s. Who uses a payphone?
You always have 5G signal, 4G signal, and even a small village, you will have a very good signal.
When we arrived in China, we were surprised to find that tiny little shops in the countryside even have QR codes to accept mobile payments.
So maybe that's the first step you need to do. You need to make sure you've got a rock solid digital infrastructure before you can even think about this mobile payment technology.
And once you've got that, well, the sky's the limit. While strolling through a park in Shenzhen, we stumbled upon a crowd of excited-ish onlookers who were trialling the city's brand new drone delivery service. Time to get the super app out again.
Wow.
Thankfully, they do have the instructions in English, but you do still need to type in Chinese.
Recommend you this bestseller
What flavour?
with the molly flower of the tea.
Oh, thank you so much for your help.
Have a nice day.
Thank you.
Thank you. Cheers for your help. Bye.
So he also said that you can only order 3 drinks maximum because of the weight.
So it's obviously not quite as powerful a drone as the one we saw lifting a whole entire wheelbarrow in Guizhou.
Why my dollar?
It's here, it's here, it's here. Whoa.
It's like Christmas. I've got my little drone delivery. Here we go. This is so exciting. I've never had anything delivered to me by drone before. Oh my god. Oh my god, it's so good. How's the recommendation?
Very, very floral. It's quite a romantic tasting drink, I would say.
Romantic.
I'm not sure it'd be my first choice, but hey, I'm only here for the drone delivery.
We believe that China is a model for the other countries, that they can follow their path for them to evolve in their digital payment journey.
So use Africa as an example, right? Landline infrastructure never really took off in a lot of parts of rural Africa. So they've actually leapfrogged straight to mobile technology.
Mobile phone and smartphone are highly popular in the developing country nowadays.
And most of Africa is now connected to some sort of mobile network or other. And people are already starting to use their phones to make payments.
Huawei share with them the mobile money solution, that they can build their own mobile apps in a very short time. For example, in Kenya, in Ethiopia, we have many successful cases of this digital payment initiative for developing countries.
I think China is a great example of a country that's gone from a developing country to a more developed country in a very short space of time. So I think the rest of the world could really look to China as an example.
As you can see, mobile payments have made life in China a lot more convenient. We just hopped cities, got a whole bag of shopping, and made a drone delivery, all from one app.
And every time we go back to the UK, I swear we have to download about 50 million apps just to navigate everyday life. Honestly, it's so annoying. And don't even get me started on mobile banking.
Oh no, just don't.
Why can't things be simpler?
Oh no, he's taking the camera. You're gonna have to listen to a Jack rant. Sorry guys.
So I'd say most people in the UK have a lot of trust and a lot of faith in their traditional high street bank. After all, many of them have been around for literally hundreds of years. But as they start to close down their physical locations and disappear from the high street and move their services online, how is this going to change the market? As you guys know, we recently opened a business in the UK, and to tell you the truth, it was a little bit of a nightmare trying to find a business bank account that actually worked for our needs. We searched around, went to all the traditional high street banks. Either they couldn't accept payments from China, or there was some other silly little rule that just was going to make things a little bit difficult for us. In the end, we actually went for an upstart, online-only bank. Perhaps being in China had made us a little bit more open-minded about different ways of banking.
And as we've seen so far, Shenzhen is the perfect place to demonstrate China's modern approach to paying for things. The city is just a few decades old, and the vast majority of the population are migrant workers who came here to chase the Chinese dream.
我是湖北人。
湖北哦，武汉。
对。
我们喜欢吃热干面。
Its business-friendly nature is not only evident high up in the city's boardrooms, but also down at street level. Local neighbourhoods, such as Baishizhou, buzz with the hum of self-made entrepreneurs and solo merchants.
Here in China, if you've got an idea, you can make it happen. All you need is a QR code, and you can start accepting payments, which really helps solo entrepreneurs unlock a new path forward. So behind me is a stack of watermelons. Now, during watermelon season, you will see farmers come into the city centre, set up a shop with a little tractor or something on a street corner and start flogging it directly to customers at a really good price.
In the UK, if you've got a part-time business, then it's quite expensive to rent a card machine to accept card payments. But here in China, you just print off your QR code and you can accept payments from everyone.
Talking of which, all the street food is making me hungry.
Chicken chop far?
Chicken chop
So we've got a husband and wife duo cooking up an absolute storm here. Maybe if me and Nico had been born into another life, this would be us. Instead of making videos, we'd be doing collaborations on the cheeky chow far.
If you're a pair of fried rice maestros like these two, then digital payments are more than just a payment method. They might be the key to unlocking the finance needed to take your business to the next level.
Oh, how fun. How I've missed the...
For small, medium enterprise, like one-person business, they are usually not that target customer for the traditional bank. Whenever they get a loan, they need a very long process and they need to have many paper-based processing.
Anyone who has ever spent the day waiting in line in a high street bank knows exactly what Clinton is talking about.
They now just need only a few seconds. They can get their loan immediately.
So, what's changed? Well, previously, many people in lower income brackets either did not have bank accounts or mostly dealt in cash, so banks had very little data to work with, especially if these people did not have a lot of assets to use as collateral. But the rise of digital payment platforms has allowed financiers to track every microtransaction and build up a better picture of a business owner's finances, be they a tech entrepreneur or a street food seller.
So a lot of the time when I'm reading the news and I come across financial headlines talking about the latest innovations in the banking sector, I kind of have this feeling like this isn't for me. But Clinton said something really interesting.
In future, the bank will form an AI agent, just like a digital human that can interact with you.
So previously, only the super rich and super wealthy had personal bank managers who would handle their investments, handle their loans, handle their savings. But soon, we're all going to have an AI account manager who's going to basically be able to suggest to us what is the best place for us to invest our money. How should we be saving our money? It's going to help us to budget, and it's really going to help us ordinary consumers get a handle on our banking, because I think a lot of ordinary people are actually quite scared when it comes to finances. They're scared to take control. I know we were.
You cannot stay in 2014. No. You need to stay in 2025, or even we look for the 2030, right?
So if there's one thing that we've learned, it's that mobile payments aren't just impressive because of the technology involved, but because of the effect that their adoption has had and will have in the future for ordinary people all around the world.
So whether you're a coffee grower in Colombia, a tea picker in Fujian, or just your average Nico and Jack, then this digital revolution is for you.